Good evening and thanks for joining us. First tonight, the major changes about to hit our shelves that will affect one of our staple foods. A top bread manufacturer is planning to cut costs by extending the shelf life of bread from 2 days to 2 weeks. But will it taste any different and will it be healthy for you? Helen Wellings finds out.
The crunch is here. Our soft, chewy daily bread is set to become very hard to swallow. Yesterday's bread, fit for the bin, could soon be left on the supermarket shelf for up to 2 weeks.
Give us this day, our daily bread is fast disappearing.
The biggest savings trick played by our supermarkets could become a thing of the past.
We're marking them down because they're nearing now their use-by date.
Selling off today's bread at massive discounts when it's just 12 hours old. Goodbye to these daily specials.
So if you're looking for bargains in bread later in the day, because we bake every day, we'll be marking down the bread. It's 20, 40, 60% off. Usually after 5 o'clock in the afternoon is the best time to come in and see what stock is left. Australia's
largest bread manufacturer wants to end fresh bread deliveries. Goodman Fielder, makers of our top sellers, including Wonder White, Mighty Soft, Helga's, Vogel's, Lawson's and Freyer's, is looking at extending the shelf life from the present 2 or 3 days to 10 to 14 days.
Consumers are used to having long life milk in their cupboards as a contingency. I'm not so sure Australians are going to be that keen on having long life bread on their dinner tables every night simply because that's the only choice they've got.
Scott Driscoll, president of the United Retail Federation, says Goodman Fielders are being forced to ditch daily bread because of the fierce price wars being fought by Coles and Woolworths, using $1 bread as the loss leader.
I don't think Australian consumers want to be guinea pigs. I think Australian consumers want to see a quality product, they want to see fresh bread, and they want to know that the supply chain is sustainable. They don't want to think that any moment we could be in a situation where we're having to put up with old stale bread of lesser quality simply because Coles and Woolworths are in this war between each other. Coles and Woolworths will ultimately be held to account by Australian consumers for pushing these supply chains, these bread makers, down this path.
Goodman Fielder won't divulge how they'll make bread last longer, but they said that they collect bread from supermarkets at the end of the day for pig food or breadcrumbs. But by extending the shelf life, they can reduce deliveries and collections and thereby save massively on costs.
Generally, to extend the shelf life, we would expect that that would be done by preservatives and other additives that have different functions in the bread that would make it last for longer.
Fresh breads become a superfood. High-tech milling processes release the healthiest nutrients from the grain layers, iron, zinc and B-group vitamins. But will bread that's made to last a long, long time lose that goodness? Dietitian Sharon Natoli of Food and Nutrition Australia says fresh is best.
You would expect that there might be some loss of B-group vitamins. We know that they're susceptible to light and heat, so depending on the temperature that the bread's kept at and depending on how much light the bread is exposed to. We would like to see people eating more fresh foods because we know that fresh food is generally higher in nutritional value and nutritional content.
Consumers are losing out as a result of this bread war. What we will see Coles and Woolworths bringing about is older bread on the shelves, less choice, and potentially down the track what we're going to see is less quality.
I guess time will tell in terms of what is put into the bread to extend the shelf life. It will mean perhaps reading the ingredient list to work out exactly what is in there and how that may or may not affect the nutritional value of the product.
Helen Wellings reporting.